It's currently the 26th of October, and the current time is 7:05. The Dow's closed, not too good, down 206 points, down 1.74%. The S&P's down 1.99, and the Nasdaq down 2.26. Major news last night. I guess it wasn't a lot. We did get some disappointment in terms of some of the market news and earnings. Also, housing prices dropped close to 3.5%. I'll just check that. Yeah, stocks fall on data. UPS slump. So really not that positive across the board. And also, I guess, concerns of what's happening this afternoon in terms of what we're going to see out of Europe. And I think that's obviously a key there. Home prices in the US cities fall more than forecast, 3.8%. So not too good there. Also, US confidence drops to a 2-year low. So the bigger bailout fund for Europe needs to work as Germany faces Parliament vote another COP. So basically, there's a few concerns out there. There's no doubt about it. Europe struggles for crisis remedy. I think it was interesting the other day. It noted that what did we know? We noted that Merkel versus Sarkozy, Merkel, Sarkozy versus Berlusconi, and Cameron sort of left out in the cold. So I think there is a definite crisis, but a bit of a concern there. But pretty good for gold. Gold broached that $1,700 area, and that to me, I think, basically is quite good. Staying above 1,700, I think, is quite positive. Also, physical demand due to the Diwali festive season in India has seen the Indians also pile into gold. And they've certainly done it, gold purchases this year, or the same time this year, compared to last year, sorry. We're actually up by 21% at 540 tonnes from memory. Okay, so that's quite positive. Let's have a look at it a little bit later. Let's quickly, first of all, have a snapshot around the world. Okay, looking at world indices. We've already mentioned what's happened in America. Having a look at what's happening in Europe, 1.1% down for the top 50. The FTSE was down 0.41. The CAC was down 0.43, and the DAC down 0.14. So quite negative on that front. Looking at across Australia, let's have a look there. Market's also slightly down. It's best to look at the futures. Of course, we're on Cycom, and that market was also down. We were down 38 points, 4,178. It just feels like the market, there's a little bit of optimism that seems to be evaporating as we come into the business end of what we're expecting. As I mentioned before several times, we really need to see a package that means something. 1.3 trillion. I think the market's going to think it's not large enough. That has already been aired. They really need a showstopper. The question is, will that top 2 trillion? The other thing that's interesting also is the fact that the IMF will weigh into this, and I think that to me is one of the big issues. Anyway, on the commodities, Brent was down, but West Texas was up. For those who are interested, we tweeted that yesterday, that we actually felt that the spread between the two should come in. It continues to come in. It's at 18.21, so that we've given people the heads up on that. So quite happy for that to continue to come in. It actually should. Remember, Brent traded at a discount to West Texas prior to Libya, and also as we come to the close of the force majeure in Nigeria for Bonnie Light Sweet, that should ease supply of the crude into Europe. So that's something to keep an eye on. Okay, commodities generally mixed. Wheat down a little bit, corn down a fraction, soybeans down a fraction as well, not too much there. Copper under pressure, 445, 340, 45. Still a bear on copper, and also point to the RMB copper loans in China as a source that copper probably will come under pressure if in fact there is more pressure from China on closing those concerns. Gold change up 51, 1704, massive move up 3.13%. Silver up 5% at 33.23. Okay, let's just have a look at a few of them. We've got the dollar index up here as we stand. You can see that at the market it's actually found a little bit of a low. We can draw a trend line in there, I think, and we can see there's a few areas that if the market does break, then the chances are she does come down a little bit more. Let's try and get my little pen there. It's not working. Okay, we'll just leave that for the time being. Well, that's okay. I've got something there. Okay. Breakthrough 77.10 confirms that. And likewise, you can get a little intermediate trend here, I guess, if you want to draw a little fella in. There we go. That's just drawn in there. So a breakthrough that I'll hold sees into that new window. So let's see how that unfolds. But I think as we lead into the concerns, I think you'll find US dollar perhaps goes a little bit better bid. Let's just have a look at the gold price. Very strong, 1709 at the moment. Very strong move. Taken out that 1700. It might have a little bit of a rest here. Let's see what happens. If you are long, then the key, if it breaks through 1650, then you're on for the time being. But things look quite good there. Looking at the dollar, looking at the Aussie, 104.23. We did have a bit of a spike last night. Did came back down. That potentially could be a little bit of a top for that Aussie. So I'll just be a little bit cautious. There is a little bit of divergence there as well forming. So I actually think that perhaps taking on some short Aussie with a stop around that 105.20 is not a bad trade to look at. Have a look at the daily chart. And as you can see, it does look a little bit toppy. So I'm actually thinking that that's not a bad trade. Okay, let's now look. We've looked at the Aussie. We've looked at that. We've looked at the dollar index. The local market, let's have a quick look there. 41.18, there you are. It does look like this is a consolidating phase for the market. So maybe more sideways to lower price action before we try and break through that top. So perhaps more consolidation there. And we've got data out there which we'll run through in a second. I think that's probably about it that we can discuss quickly. Cotton had another lift, which was good. And as you know, the long-term feeling we've got for there is that copper will start to trend higher from here. Okay, let's have a look at the week economic calendar for Wednesday. Consumer price in Australia, very important there, 0.6%, that's low. That should be suggesting that we should get an interest rate movement on Melbourne Cup Day. If that is the case, above 0.9, you will not get it. Consumer prices year on year, 3.5, 3.6, and obviously the lower that is, the more we get the rate cut. Apart from that, durable goods in America, that's tier 1 data, capital goods as well, and new home sales. The market really wants to see a bit of a pickup in there, so that is quite important from that perspective. So really, I guess all eyes will be to Europe, Merkel, Sarkozy, Berlusconi, what's going to happen, what sort of package it'll be, and the market, I think, will track sideways to lower, particularly the equity markets, until we actually find out what's happening from that front. Let's look for a big package. The package, I think, will incorporate the IMF as well, and as such, it'll come out of our money as well, our taxes. I think it is a cause that needs to be done. Otherwise, the ramifications for economies around the world will be felt if they don't come up with a proper package. It just remains a drag on everyone. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope everyone has a great day. We'll talk to you later, and bye for now.